Hello everyone, Carolyn here and welcome to today's tutorial. Today I will be showing you a tips and trick tutorial if you ever find yourself a pin bar short from a design that you would like to make. For instance, say you want to make a 8-pin bar design, which is what we'll be doing today. This is the actual rendition from the tutorial. And so you find you want to do an 8-pin bar design, but you only have 5 looms. So you're literally a pin bar short. Just one. Okay? But in today's tutorial, I will show you how you can make your 8-pin bar design by transferring one of your pin bars. Okay? So without further ado, let's get started. And what we're going to do is lay out your loom and the normal configuration of the design that you are going to be doing. Again, I'm going to be showing you how to do it on my remembrance bracelet. Now this is my own original design in Loomaniac off of Instagram, and official Loomaniac on YouTube did the tutorial for me. She did a wonderful job, but I just figured that this would be a good bracelet to teach you this technique on. Okay, so this is going to be our pin bar layout. So whatever design that you want to make, what you want to do is set your loom up in that configuration, and then take your top left pin bar, or actually not your top, your bottom left pin bar right here. You want to pop it off of your loom. Okay, take it off and put it at the top right hand side. Okay, and then that's going to leave you with 7 pin bars down at the bottom. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. See? Okay, so you have your 8 pin bars up top. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Alright, so let's get your bands ready and we'll get ready to start placing our perimeter. And we'll be right back. First bands are going to be perimeter, and this bracelet's the white. I'm going to be using the medieval pink rose, 2 across the center. Okay, and then you just work your way out to the perimeter like you usually would. Now, since you usually would go ahead and place a band there to get it to the edge and go up, we're just going to drop a band there. Okay, and then we're going to work our way to the edge. Okay. And then once we get to the edge on the right, you simply just go all the way up. That's a very easy step. Okay. Continue that all the way up. Now for this one, before you start placing your perimeter bands going down this way, you want to drop a band, because if you had your pin bar here, you would already have a band here. Okay, so that way when you go to close everything up, it's correct. So you drop that band, and then you just proceed as if you had been making a single chain all the way up this side. And you're going to do that to the top. Okay, I'm going to go off, finish my edges up to the top, and then I'll be back to show you how to close. Alright everyone, I'm back, and so for our very next step, we're going to be placing the X bands going down the center on the 5th and the 6th pin bar. Now, if you are working on a design and you're going to be placing, say, from the outside, working your way in, what you simply want to do is say that, okay, say you've got an imaginary pin bar here. Okay, I'm just going to put it there so you can see what I mean. And your next steps are for you to zigzag up pins bar 1 and 2. Okay, what you want to do is go ahead, oh, we need to leave that band there, and drop 2 on every single pin bar as if you had already laid them across to your initial first pin bar. So just drop your bands on every pin bar all the way up to this point, and when you drop 2, your bottommost band is going to be pulled here. So what you want to do is take your top band and pull it across to here, and then start laying your diagonal pattern all the way up, the rest of the way up, just following the zigzag. Okay, so I'm going to show you real quick just in case I confused you when I explained it. So you've dropped 2 all the way up your secondary pin bar, and now you're up here where your new, I'm going to move this one out of the way again so I can exactly show you what I mean. So you want to go ahead and connect that over and follow your zigzag pattern all the way, the rest of your way up, like that. Okay, and then that's how you're going to do the left side. You're just going to act like it's there. That way when you go to loom everything, the bands are in the proper location. And then you place exactly how your design says. If you're working from the outside pin bars inward, you just, you know, continue laying like that. But if you're working along with me just to get the concept, this doesn't apply, but I just want to cover all my bases while I'm doing it. So that's how you would work the right side, exactly like the tutorial tells you to. The only thing that's going to be different is you're going to be dropping the bands on your second pin bar. Okay, so for us, again, what we're going to be doing is creating the X's going down the center. I like to start from left to right, or excuse me, going to the right first and then crossing back to the left. And then just continue that all the way up your loom. I'm going to do one more with you, and then I'm going to go off and finish that step up so we can get on to the next one, because I want to be able to spend more time with the transfers and that kind of thing. Okay, so just complete your X's all the way up if you're going along with me, and I'll be right back. Alright everyone, I'm back. And we're ready for our next band placement step. In this rendition, it is the white bands that you see going along here if you're following this design. And what we're going to do is just place a diagonal band across the third and the fourth pin bar, and then just repeat all the way up, and again all the way up. I'm going to do the same thing, mirror image, opposite side. Now that's if you're following this design. Okay, if you're not following this design, whatever the next step is in the bracelet that you are making, that's what you want to place across the next pin bars, either working your way out or working your way in, however the design dictates that you place your bands. Okay, so I'm going to go off, finish placing my diagonal bands, and then I'll be right back for our next band placement step. Alright everyone, I'm back and we're ready for our next band placement step. In this rendition, it is the silver bands that you see going along the center there. And what you're going to do is just place a single chain up the third and the fourth, fifth, sixth pin bar. I'm used to having a lot more looming estate than this. Okay, so again, just a single chain up your, what would be your third, but is actually your second because we haven't moved that one yet. And then again up your seventh, sixth, right? Third, fourth, fifth, yeah. Okay. So just continue that up your loom if you're following along with me. If you are doing a different design, follow whatever the design calls for, either working your way out or working your way in, and we'll be right back. Alright everyone, I'm back and we're ready for our next band placement step. In this rendition, it is the maroon sparkle that you see going along there. And what we're going to do is just place a single band across your second and third pin bar, essentially. I know it's actually your first and third because this one's not there. Excuse me. And then you do the same thing, mirror image, opposite side if you're following along with me, just to get the hang of it before you try it on what you really want to make. Okay, so you're going to continue that all the way up the loom. Now again, if you're doing a different design and just kind of trying to follow the steps, you want to follow the steps of the design, working from the perimeter in or the inside out, however the design calls for you to lay. So just continue your pattern for the remainder of your loom. I'm going to get to the top of mine and I'll be right back for our next band placement step. Alright everyone, I'm back and we're ready for our next band placement step. In this rendition it is the blue that you see going along the side. And if you're following along with me, we're going to be working with the 2nd and the 7th pin bar. Just going straight up the loom, creating a single chain all the way up. And then again, going all the way up on the 7th. Okay, easy peasy steps. Okay, and again, you're going to continue that up the loom if you're working with me. If you're working with your design, you place whatever your next step is, either working again from the outside in or inside out, all the way up your loom. And then I'll be right back. We have one more band placement step and then we'll begin our looming process, and that's where the actual technique will come in. Okay, so I'm going to finish mine up and then I'll be right back. Alright everybody, I'm back and we're ready for our final band placement step. It is the medieval red that you see going along up underneath the denim blue. Excuse me, I'm going to be using white. Okay, so for our non-existent pin bar, for those of us who are working from the inside out, we're going to have to drop bands along this pin bar now. So when we transfer it, all of our bands are in the correct place. Because what our step is going to be a zigzag all the way up our loom, just like this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to drop 2 bands, because each peg will have 2 bands on it all the way up your loom. Okay, so 2 bands. Now if you worked from the outside in, your 2 bands are already in place, and you can go ahead and place your final bands going up your center, whatever your design dictates. Again, you're just placing the 2 bands all the way up the loom. And I'm going along with you so I can show you. Okay, and that's going to be the last band placement. Now you know that the bottom band is always going to go down to connect here first. So this top band, you can go ahead and move to that first pin bar, and then pick your zigzag back up from there, and then continue like you had been placing a zigzag the whole time. Okay, so just continue the zigzag for your left side and then for your right side, and then I'll be back to show you our next, or how we loom it up. Be right back. Alright everyone, I'm back and I've gotten my loom turned around. As you can see, we still got the missing pin bar up top now. And what we are going to do is go ahead and place our capping bands. If you're following along with me, you want to take 2 double banded, or 2 bands double looped across the 4th and 5th pin bar, and then a triple looped cap band across the 8th, and then across the 1st. Okay, and then what we're going to do is find my hook, and we're going to go in and just loom that one back to its corresponding home post, and then just loom a simple zigzag all the way up. Okay, or if you are doing a different design, you follow the tutorial's instructions on however you need to loom it. Again, if you're following me for the right side, just go in, pull that first back band down to itself, and then work the zigzag from each pin back to itself. Okay. And if you're working on this side, what you want to do is, I usually stay at least 2 pins away, because what we're going to do is we're going to transfer this pin bar to up here. So what we need to do is finish all of our looming steps on these pin bars here, so we can loom out our perimeter and then pull this pin bar. But I'm going to show you how. Well, I'm going to go off screen right now, finish up my zigzag so we can move on to the next step, so I can show you how to get to that step. Okay, so continue your design. If you're working the left side, go all the way up, and then for your right side, I'd stop, say, again, about 2 pin bars from that top. Okay, so I'm going to go off, finish mine up, and then I'll be right back. Alright everyone, I'm back and we're ready for our next looming step. We're going to be working with the 2nd and the 7th pin bar. We're going to go in and grab our single chain band, and then we're going to pull it up into the left, going all the way up, or working your design however the looming steps are. And I wanted to say, if you're working, if the center bands was the last bands that you placed, you go ahead and loom out, and then when you get to about here and you're working your way out this way, again you want to stay about 2 pin bars away, that way you can catch the design back up. Okay, I might do a secondary tutorial and do a design where you're working from the inside out. I guess. Sorry guys, that's my babies coming in from school and my dog going berserk. Let me shut the office door. Sorry about that guys. Again, so what you want to do is just go ahead and pull that single chain band on the left up into the left, and then for the right hand side you're going to do the same thing, just mirror image, going in and pulling that band up into the left. Oh no, that's a long stretch. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I screwed it up. Small stretch, not long stretch. Okay, just off to the side. And again, I'm going to stop about right there. That way you can, actually we're going to stop right here because we have to pick this back up. Okay, so we'll do that, and then I'll do that, and that'll be our main stopping point. Okay, alright, so I'm going to go off, finish mine up on the left hand side, because you don't want to go any further up on the right until we transfer our pin. That way we can lock everything together as we loom up. So I'm going to go off, finish that step up, and then I'll be right back. Alright everyone, I'm back and we're ready for our next looming step. We're going to be working with the 2nd and the 7th pin bar. We're going to go in and grab our diagonal band and just pull it up and to the left. Up and to the left. All the way up on our left hand side. Okay. Then you're going to do the same thing, mirror image on the right hand side. So go in, push that band back, grab your diagonal and bring it up into the left. Okay, closing up those gaps all the way up. Sorry about that guys. Again, so we're just going to be going up into the left, pulling out of our 7th pin bar. Alright guys, and when we work our way up to where we stopped, as you can see we still haven't looped that silver band or that white band, so we don't want to loop any more of our diagonal bands going this way until we transfer our pin bar. Okay, so we're going to continue doing that all the way up to the left side. I'm going to go off, finish mine up, and then I'll be right back for our next looming step. Alright everyone, I'm back and we're ready for our next looming step. We're going to be working with the 3rd and the 6th pin bar. And what we're going to do is go in, grab our single chain band, and just pull it out into the right. And you will be overlapping that bottom diagonal band. That is okay. It will be looped differently. And again, just pulling up into the right, and you can complete this all the way up your loom for your left side. Now for your right side, again, you're going to go in, push those bands back, and pull it to the left. Just mirror imaging the opposite side. Get my band straightened back out. Okay, again, just going in, pulling that forward band to the left. Okay. And that's where we're going to stop. Actually, we're going to take that one back because as you can see, I didn't loom that one out, so that puts a stretch on that band. Okay, so basically what you want to do is you want to make sure that you stop before your next band, if you haven't already moved that band. Okay, alright, so I'm going to go off, finish mine up all the way on the left side, and then I'll be back for our next looming step. Alright everyone, I'm back and we're ready for our next looming step. What we are going to do is go in and grab our diagonal bands and pull them down into the right, all the way up your left side. Okay, just down into the right, all the way up this side. Now on this side, you're going to go in and pull them down into the left. Okay, and again, you're not going to be working all the way up your loom for this side until we do our transfer. So on this one, we're going to stop right here. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off, finish my left side all the way up, and then I'll be back for our next looming step. Be right back. Alright guys, I'm back and we're ready for our next looming step. We're going to be working with our centermost pin bars. Going in, grabbing the bottommost band, looming it back to its home post, and then crossing the opposite side of the X. And we can go up a couple on this one. Matter of fact, I'll just go up 3 or 4 just to show you an example of how to go all the way up. But you do not want to go all the way up as of yet. Okay, I'm going to freeze right there, even though I could go up a little bit further. So here's where our transfer technique is going to come into play. What we are going to do is go ahead and loom the perimeter all the way out to the left and then all the way up past our first connecting pin bar. In other words, where our 2 loom meet, right here. We're going to loom above that and then pause. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do now. Just work out to the edge, and then if it'll stay on there, and then go up. Okay, now I want to add some beads to mine, so I'm going to go off and add some beads, and then I'll come back and show you how we're going to finish our transfer. Okay, so just pause me until I get back. Placing my beads, and then I'll show you how we're gonna transfer our pins. Okay, I'll be right back. Alright everyone, so I'm back, and as you can see, I've gotten my perimeter looped out to the edge for my left hand side, and then I went ahead and added the beads and loomed it up to the top and stopped right there. Now what we are going to do is take our hook and remove the bands on your very first pin bar. just all the way up that very first pin bar. Okay. Alright, and once you free the bottom half or the first loom or pin bar, however you want to word it, what we're going to do is stop right there and then just take that pin bar and pop it out. Okay? Turn your loom back around. And then place, ooh, I got bombs everywhere. Place your pin bar where it should have been placed when we were first laying our perimeter. What we're going to do is take our band that we dropped earlier for our perimeter, go ahead and put it on that peg, and then just take your perimeter bands and go ahead and place your perimeter like you would have if it was there when we first started laying out our design, all the way to the top, just working that single chain perimeter. Easy peasy, nothing hard about it. Again, just continue to go up. Okay, and then we're going to pick up the drop band that we placed earlier and put it over top of that band. And now we can go ahead and start on our zigzag again. Again, if you want to pick them up, you can. If not, you can just pull the bottommost band over. I find it easier just to pick them up and add them on, just like that. Okay, so I'm going to go off, finish doing my zigzags, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I've placed my zigzag up into where we dropped our first zigzag and picked it back up. We're just going to pick that bottommost band up and place it on our peg. Okay, so now that we have all of the bands placed that we need, now we can spin it back around. Okay, and so what you want to continue to do is work however your design calls for, whether it be working the zigzag and just completing the design just like you had never had to do a transfer. So basically you would just continue with your zigzag on your 7th and 8th pin bar, working your way all the way to the top, and then you would come back and then you would loop your silver over top of those all the way to the top, and then you would come back and loop out your diagonals. Okay, continue that to the top, and then you would loop out your single chains, continuing that all the way to the top, and then you would come back and finally loop your diagonal bands all the way to the top. And then I left my X's all the way down here. You would pick up wherever you left off with your X's and continue all the way to the top. Okay, and then once you got everything looped on the left hand side, center, etc., etc., what you're going to do is follow your perimeter. Let me get back on screen. Actually, I can do a few up this side with you. So just pull the perimeter out to the right and then straight up all the way up your loom. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to go off, finish up my remaining steps. I'll come back to show you how to close it up, just in case you're following me and are unsure. And then I'll show you our finished bracelet, and that way you know it is doable. It just might take some patience. Alright guys, I'm going to go off, finish mine up, and I'll be right back. Alright everybody, so I've made it to the top of my loom, and what you want to do is make sure that all of your bands have been loomed up before you close up your perimeter, just to make sure everything's as it should be. All of mine are looped. So what I'm going to do is just simply continue with the perimeter, working my way to the centermost pin bar, And then again, working my way in. Just like any regular perimeter. And then I gotta get the C-clip. I forgot to grab that. Sorry guys. Alright, so then you just go in, grab your two most drop bands, pull them out, put the C-clip on. Same thing for the opposite side. Go in, grab your two most bottom bands, C-clip them up, and then you're ready to go ahead and remove it from your loom. I would suggest that you work from the outside in and do not rip it off. I'm going to take mine off and then I'll be right back. Alright everybody, I'm back and we've gotten our remembrance bracelet off of the loom. And if you followed along with me, hopefully yours looks something like this. I hope you have enjoyed today's tutorial and that it helps you out if you've been wanting to make a design and you've been a pin bar short. Now you know how to do it. If you've liked today's tutorial, please give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe by hitting the little button below. You can also give me a follow on Instagram or Facebook. My username is @CarolynHamlin. Alright guys, that's it for today. Have a great day and loom on, loomers. See you next time. Bye-bye.